This is African History Times. Welcome. Henry Morton Stanley was one of the individuals of European origin who explored the African interior in the 19th century and thus opened up the African interior to colonization. Even if the likes of a Stanley did not intend for this to happen, especially once they saw what the likes of King of the Belgians, Leopold II, would do to the colonies they controlled. On the 17th of October 1876 and 1877, Henry Morton Stanley reached the Lualaba and the Boma rivers, respectively. These rivers are located in Central Africa in the region of the Congo. This was from a trip of Stanley's across Africa, and it took place from 1874 to 1877. This was his second discovery trip in Africa. At this time, Europeans didn't know much about the African interior. They knew about the coast pretty well, but not about the bowels of Africa. Such exploration endeavors by European explorers, even if the trips had no ill intent, did help the process of European colonization of the African interior. It is maybe no coincidence that the so-called Scramble for Africa of the late 19th century, the process whereby European countries gobbled up and colonized African territory, started soon after explorations such as those by Stanley and the likes of David Livingstone. We cover the topic of the Scramble for Africa and the colonization of the Congo in our sister podcast, African Campfire Stories podcast. Episodes, Summary of Foreign Intervention in Africa, and Enter Congo. Further details are on the description of this episode. There are many photos of Stanley on the internet that show him posing next to a black male African child. The name of that young African boy is Ndugu. Ndugu was given, and the given is in air quotes, he was given to Stanley in Tanzania. Ndugu was born around 1865 and he died in 1877. Stanley then adopted Ndugu. Again, the adopted is in air quotes. Stanley adopted Ndugu and Ndugu thus became his son. Stanley didn't like the name Ndugu, so he took to using the name Kalulu to address Ndugu. The word Kalulu means rabbit in Swahili. Stanley took Ndugu with him to many places around the world, including the USA and France, and showed him off to high society. From what can be gathered, Stanley was vehemently against the enslavement of Africans, especially in the Congo area. In his many trips around the world, he lectured and gave talks against slavery. He also provided information to authorities that was meant to help to catch slave traders. For instance, he used his knowledge of Central Africa to map the whereabouts of suspected slave traders. On Stanley's request, Livingstone Falls was renamed Kalulu Falls. It seems the latter name didn't stick though. Ndugu had died in a boat accident at the falls. A little fun fact about Stanley attempting to rename the Livingstone Falls to Kalulu Falls is that it was Stanley who had named the falls the Livingstone Falls in the first place. He named them Livingstone Falls after his hero, that other explorer of the African interior in the 19th century, David Livingstone. The relationship between Stanley and Ndugu requires some further exploration. Their relationship was a typical one between a European and an African during the colonial era, meaning that it was a relationship where the European viewed himself as being superior to the African in every way that matters. It was usual for that era for Europeans to rename Africans in their midst. What is a bit unusual is for Stanley to give Ndugu an African name as a replacement. Usually, the new name given to an African would be of European origin. Stanley did indeed ride around Europe and North America parading Ndugu, as was par for the course for that era. But he also attempted to rename the Livingstone Falls after Ndugu, even though the name he used to rename the falls was the new name he had given to Ndugu, Kalulu. All indications are that Stanley was sincere in wanting to change the name of the falls to Kalulu Falls. Stanley also made sure Ndugu received some decent education. Stanley also fought against the enslavement of Africans. The way Ndugu was given to Stanley doesn't speak too well of Stanley's attitude to the trafficking on Africans. Based on Stanley's actions, it seems Stanley did think that he cared about Ndugu. Their relationship was definitely not that of a straight-up slave and slave master. Stanley, in his personal views, could be regarded as a European liberal and abolitionist of that era. Such European individuals were definitely enlightened for that era. As a black person, if you had to end up in the hands of a European, ending up with the likes of a Stanley would definitely be seen as a blessing in those times. Certainly a black person could do way worse back then. But of course, measured by the standards of today, the likes of a Stanley comes off as patronizing and self-righteous and suffering from a severe case of noblesse oblige. Noblesse oblige was the idea that privilege comes with responsibility, that those who are better off must bear the pain of helping the less endowed. Stanley, and those like him, could also be said to be driven by what the British poet and novelist Rudyard Kipling called the white man's burden. The Victorian era idea that Europeans had the responsibility and duty to go around the world civilizing those who were deemed uncivilized and backward. In closing, the relationship between Stanley and Ndugu, though definitely not enlightened by today's standards, was also not flat out abusive. Though he could be seen as being patronizing by today's standards, Stanley sincerely did believe that he was helping and making a difference. Thank you very much for listening. Please join us next time on African History Times.